How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Like I said, it's an honor to be a part of this story. It's an honor that you want me to be a part of it, especially because we met 2 years ago at our current employment back in 2018. And it's just I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, because everything just started to line up. For the viewers that don't know me, my name is Justin. I'm 27 years old. I'm from Detroit. And the crazy thing about that is you're from Detroit.
Hey.
You're from Detroit, right? Yeah. So we both from Detroit. Second thing you told me, because you told me this when we first started working, but I mean, I didn't know this. You reminded me a few weeks ago that your mom actually has the same last name as me.
Right. That's right.
So like we kind of like cousins. Like I feel like we're family, like distant relatives.
Right.
Like how are you feeling today? You feeling all right?
Feeling good, man. It's a nice day, and it's good to still be around. I'd like to give my condolence to Shabadoo and his family. He's a great dancer was.
Yeah.
And he would be really missed. I have a lot of connections with him and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
we'll be getting
also Don Campbell and all of them as well.
Yeah, because we'll be getting into all that because you was actually part of Breakin.
Yes.
The famous, well, we'll get into it today as far as the Michael Jackson Moonwalk, backslide story. You've been part of Power Rangers, Sesame Street Live. You've done all these magnificent things. So that's why I just want to thank you for just having me be a part of this because it really means a lot, especially for the viewers. Like what we want to do here is just break the generational gap. Like I said, I'm 27 years old. Detroit households, like we're old school, Motown, Motor City, everything's old school as far as, just the music. Like I grew up on Prince, Michael, as far as you too. So it's just a great thing that we were kind of like bridging the gap together that people can just realize.
Good analogy,
yeah. So let's get it started, man. So who is Cooley Jaxson? And who is Cooley Jaxson? I know it's a lot to you. But who is Cooley Jaxson?
Okay. Well, first of all, I'd like to say to the viewers out there that this is my journey. And I always tell people this when I start to talk. Me and you could enter a room together. We could sit down, people could come in the room, stuff can happen, leave. Someone comes and say what happens, we're going to give them two stories. Although we both were sitting in a room at the same time, we have two different views, two different journeys. So Casper, who's my best friend, we've grown up together since kids up till now. We've done a lot together. We are 2 years apart. I'm older. And I'm talking to you about my journey.
Right.
Not saying that anyone else's is wrong. This is just my perspective and what I seen growing up.
Yeah, definitely. That's what life is about, man. Everybody has their own perspective on certain situations that happen. I mean, some of it can be false, but everybody has their own perspective.
Well, you have people who talk and they say, no, so-and-so taught this, so-and-so did that. Well, they're getting with the hearsay.
Exactly.
And what they're saying could be true from someone else's point of view.
Exactly.
But who's to say that what I'm telling you isn't? I'm like, I know what I saw and what I went through. Now, whatever you said, I cannot debate that. But let me tell you my story.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm about to do.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So how did you get into dance?
I got into dance when I was in the 4th grade. There was a talent show at the elementary school. I knew I wanted to be in it. And dance was the easiest thing to do. I was playing the drums at the time, just the snare drum.
Right.
Can't really do too much with that. And so I knew I had a love for music. What I used to do, I could not really read big words in the 4th grade because I was just learning. So I would get on a record player. I would put records on. And if I liked the beat, I put them in the I like the beat stack. And if I didn't like it, I put in I did not like that beat stack. And so I had all these separate. These are 45s. And finally, I took the 45s I liked and I put them on. I said, okay, which ones I could dance to? I put them on. Came across a song called Money Runner. I know you haven't heard of it. It's Quincy Jones. Instrumental. And this is like, and it's funny when I pull it up online. I'm like, oh my God, all these memories. So I just started choreographing. Well, I know it's choreography then. I started putting a routine to it. That's what we used to say.
Yeah.
So I started doing this a dance routine. I entered the actual talent show, and lo and behold, I won. Nice. So we just got the certificate. You know, that was it. It was elementary and stuff like that. But what drove me and surprised me and even made me go, wow, was the audience. As I'm dancing, and when I end, everybody applauded. And I said, wow, I like this feeling. You know, this will work.
Right.
Come back the next year, my mom helped me. She made an outfit. And I have the outfit, she sent it to me. So I actually have it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Fur is pulling up. It's all white fur.
Yeah.
And so my mother made this outfit for a second time. And I danced to Dancing Machine by Jackson 5. Obviously, you know what that is. Mm-hmm. And again, I won. So in winning and entering, there was another group called the Dynamite Kids. And from my understanding, I think they entered or they were there. It was one or two. I'm very fuzzy about that because it's been a long time ago.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, my friend Brian Ramsey, mother was a teacher at Monte Vista in Santa Ana. And he and I was in the same class. Mm-hmm. And we're the same age. So he had a group called the Dynamite Kids, him and Manny Edwards. And so I ended up joining their group.
Okay.
So they were doing a dance style called locking, which is, you know, doing all this stuff and locking.
Yeah.
I didn't know what locking was. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool, you know. So anyone could do points.
Right.
But that was it. Obviously we do it like you point. That's what you do. You don't go bam and hit that action, you know, because you are fresh into the dance.
Right.
And so I said, okay, if I'm going to roll with them and I'm going to be in this group, I got to learn something. So I learned how to do 4 moves. Okay. The famous worm on the ground.
Oh, yeah. I used to do that when I was a kid, too. I ain't gonna lie.
That's going to be here forever.
Right.
I used to do dives, dive on the ground, roll on your chest, then get up. I used to do mule kicks, jumping on your hands and feet, like this. And I used to do the alpha, when you fall back and kick. Now, the alpha is named after my big brother, Alpha, you know, which I'll tell you more about him later in the story. So that was all I did. So I would do just regular Soul Train type dancing, moving, do alpha, get up and dance, do whatever, then die.
Yeah.
Then die. Okay, one more time, die. And so I was just do that, and that was basically my routine.
Yeah.
And then we started looking at the lockers. So all of a sudden, Dick Van Dyke had a show on there, and they said, "Okay, today featuring the lockers." We're like, the lockers. Everybody's out in the street. I mean, about 50 kids out in the street, all playing everything. Everybody just disappears, running to their house. This is right when the street lights was coming on. We were watching. We started looking at the lockers. Tony Basil, all of them. We looked up to them like, wow, the lockers. You know what I mean? Right. Now I look at it and I'm like, they just basically had energy. They didn't really have a routine.
Right.
But they had some routines together, or 3, or they all do which ways, you know. So now I know this. But at the time, I was just like, so that's mentor. That's like, wow.
So let me ask you a question. So would you say that was like the beginning of street dance? Particularly,
they are the king of street dance. They started street dance, and locking is a style of street dance.
Yeah,
as you know, there's breaking, popping, locking. Those are the 3 brotherhoods of dance.
And sometimes that gets lost, and
sometimes,
all
the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, and there's a lot of. When people of the new generation don't know names of stuff, they make a name of something instead of looking at history.
Exactly.
Finding out why. Because the way it was created, like the Alpha was created by Alpha, so it's named Alpha. The Scooby-Doo is created by a dancer called Scooby-Doo. Same thing with Skeeter Rabbit, you know. They used to call stop and goes quickies. The lockers did. But somewhere it was called the stop and go. So it's things like that, and now the lockers call it the stop and go, but basically Tony Bowles used to call it quickies.
Okay.
So that's that's why I want to make it clear and beat the street and let people know this is how it was born. This is the birth of street dance. So once the dance routine was over, we basically took little bits, because you know how when you see something, you ain't gonna get 10%.
Right.
We went outside. I said, man, one thing I noticed, Fluky Lou and I think Camelot Jr. was doing backflips and stuff. And I said, I gotta learn a backflip.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to do a backflip. So it was nighttime, and like that. And then there was a girl over there, and I kind of liked her and stuff like that. So I was showing off. And I was trying backflip, landed on my damn head. I don't know how many times.
Yeah.
Not really. When you hit my hands, they broke, and then I hit my head because I didn't hold. This is just a handspring.
Yeah.
So finally, I got it down within a couple of days, and I learned how to do a handspring. So that was another move that I incorporated, which made me more of a necessity principle dancer when it came to the Dynamite Kids.
Right.
Because now I stepped it up a level.
Yeah.
Now I have another dance, and I'm doing a flip. So when you do a flip, people are like, oh, especially back then.
All right, cool, man. So I know you say now you got a couple moves in your arsenal, man. Now you got 4 or 5 good moves. You know, you performing now. Like you got that the gratification that you really want to do this. So how did the actual group start? Like how does that dance group start for you?
Well, the dance group, like I said, was the Dynamite Kids, and I ended up getting into the group. And about me getting into it, my personality is always trying to get jobs, always trying to get things working, stuff like that. So a church, matter of fact, wanted us to do a performance. I think it was at a benefit or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And also Jerome Park, they used to have talent shows and things like that, and there was cash giveaways.
Okay.
So I would set those up, and I would go and I would deal and sign us up and do things like that. Always had, very confidence that we was going to do something.
Right.
So we started putting things together, and we started putting routines together. So let me use Jerome Park as an example. We'll go to Jerome Park, to say first place was $50.
Mm-hmm.
Then we end up dancing, and we win. And everybody would be sitting on the grass looking at it, and there'd be a little stage out there. And then I said to myself and the other guys, said, we can make money just dancing?
Right, exactly. Especially during that time, just dancing. Right.
Might as well make a career out of it.
Right.
So we started dancing for churches. We started dancing for other events. And the most memorable one, as we grew, we picked up more members and stuff like that. So let's say right now we're at 7 people. And I was the only one. Now I'm pushing ahead that, I'm older because we've been dancing. And now I have a car, and I'm the only one who had a car at the time. Mm-hmm. So we look like clowns getting out of a car. Literally, we had locking outfits on. So we looked like a bunch of clowns getting out of a damn car. Seriously. We pulled up to a McDonald's after a performance. I think we got paid $100. And so everybody was like, let's go to McDonald's, let's go get something to eat. So we get in McDonald's. No one really wanted to buy, spend their money and stuff like that. So we walk in, we go up to the counter. And at the time, it was like these silver counters and this floor, and it was just a lot of room in there. And there was people in there. So we walk in there, and we have our, outfits on, our locking gear and stuff like that. And they said, what do you guys do? I said, we're dancers. They said, let me see you dance. I said, you gonna give us some free food? I said that.
Yeah.
And they looked at you and said, yeah.
But I'm not working for free.
Bet.
Right.
I whistled, call the other guys out. Yeah. They said, wait a minute, we said you. I said, no. I said, no take back. Mm-hmm. We will dance if you'll give us some free food. They said, yeah. So we said, cool. So we got in there, we said, we don't need no music. We don't need no music. We were just clapping and stepping side to side and went out one by one, dancing. I jumped up on the counter, did a split, hit, flip off the side, hit, lock. We just tore it up. It must have been about 20 people at the time who come to McDonald's and checked us out. And we did a whole bow. We had a handshake to end all of that, and we bowed. Yeah. And that showed us the power behind dance.
Exactly.
And that is what a lot of street dancers don't understand. They do it because they love it. But they don't understand that it was a way of life. It's the way of power. It was the magic. We love to dance because we love to do it. We didn't have to do it. It's not like we wanted to do it. We love to do it. And there is a difference. We used to go to school, come home, do our homework. My mom let me turn the garage into a dance studio. Everybody would show up at my house, and we would dance till midnight.
Yeah.
Every day.
This was in Detroit, or this was
in Santa Ana.
Oh, Santa Ana. Okay.
On Covenant Street. Yeah, every day. And we did that for about 5 years.
Wow.
So we did all throughout the high school. Well, I take that back. Junior high and high school. So it was about 5-6 years, you know.
Yeah.
And we created our group. Now, also growing up, I was always getting the gigs. And my friend Casper, the way we met, this is a really good story.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in the Dynamite Kids. He has this group called Casper and the Kids. And Casper and the Kids was a rival dance group. So Dynamite Kids didn't like them. I was hearing around the neighborhood, Casper said he could beat you at dancing. I'm like, really? Because I told you I was like the principal dancer at the time because I did all the flips.
Right.
And he said, really? I said, okay. I said, well, I'll meet him one day. So I finally met him on the street, West Area Street, one day. Walking down the street, saw Casper. He was with his homeboys. And I said, hey, what's up, man? He's Cass, right? Said, yeah. He said, so I heard you said you went to dance against me.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I heard you said you went to dance against me. I'm like, no, I didn't say that.
Right.
Said, I didn't say that. And we started laughing.
Mm-hmm.
From that point on, we've been best friends.
Yeah. So to touch on that, for the people who don't know, so pretty much you and Casper were like dynamic duo. Like you guys did so many things together, ultimately leading up to teaching Michael Jackson the backslide.
Yes.
But we'll get to that.
But we'll touch on that.
Yeah. So fast forward. So I know we talked behind the scenes for years that you've actually been part of Soul Train.
Yes.
So I in my household, you know, growing up in Detroit, you know, especially like in the Black communities, Soul Train line is the most famous house party dancing thing. You have both family friends line up on the sides.
Uh-huh.
Everybody has their turn going down, or you know, doing the splits or whatever, just like off of Soul Train. So how did you explain? Like, how did you get onto that? Like, how did you get on?
Well,
Soul
first
Train?
of all, when I was introduced to Soul Train, I was in Detroit. I was a kid.
Okay, yeah.
And you can relate with this.
Yeah,
the
right.
scene.
Right, yeah, scene. Definitely.
A lot of people don't know about it. It was like a Soul Train.
Yeah.
But it was in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the scene. And then when I got the opportunity to go on Soul Train, oh my God, it was a blessing. The story and my journey towards that is Casper and I was entering a contest. Well, Casper and I, like you said, we was a dynamic duo, but back then, if you enter a contest, you call it bookends.
Okay.
Like, you know, two ends of the book, you're the same, holding something together. So we're bookend act. And so I think I was 16 and Casper was 14.
Okay.
Too young to get into the club.
Mm-hmm.
There was pimps and hoes everywhere. Trust me.
Yeah, definitely that time. Yeah.
I remember. So we obviously didn't have ID, so we used to perform for the bouncers and get to know them and stuff like that. We used to get right in. Joanne used to hold a contest, and the contest was $100. Casper and I used to dance in these satin disco type blue jackets that we had. Jeffrey Daniels and Jody Watley was the judges for that contest.
Oh, wow.
Now, Cleveland Moses, an actual Soul Train dancer, was telling Jeffrey, there's this new style of dance out, and it's called popping. Mm-hmm. And so he was jerking his body like this, not even doing it this good.
Right.
And Jeffrey's like, how is that a dance craze? Technically, that sucks.
Yeah.
He said, no, you got to see it done right. You got to see it done right. So Jeffrey, by chance, came down. We didn't know he was going to be there. Casper and I entered the contest because that's what we do. That was a way of life. We in every day contest, you know, and we win some, we lose some. Mostly win. So Casper and I entered this contest. We danced a hot number. Jeffrey saw us dance and lost his effing mind. He said, oh my God, that's the dance. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Oh, and he just went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up winning the contest, obviously. And I say obviously because Jeffrey lost his mind. He was judging.
Mm-hmm.
So he grabbed us. You guys got to come to LA with me, man. You got to teach me this dance. I really, really want to learn dance. And we didn't know Jeffrey, like he could have been a pedophile for all we knew.
Right.
So he said, what the hell, and that's how it was back then. Everybody trusted everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up going to Los Angeles. Him and Jody was staying in the same place. And it was an apartment. Hardly didn't have any furniture. And Shalimar was Shalimar. They was out there. Take that to the bank. Second time around, they were famous and stuff.
Yeah.
So, here we are with this star, and we're teaching them how to dance. We're teaching them how to pop.
Right, dream come true.
So we're teaching them to move. And we took everything like the greatest song.
Right.
It's just the way Casper and I was. We never went, not even over Michael. We just never did that. We respected him. We say, like, wow, but we never went,
Right.
became fans. So we taught Jeffrey, and was there for about a week.
Okay.
Jeffrey took it upon himself to book us to do a dance routine on Soul Train.
Oh, okay.
And you'll see within the B-roll that
Yeah.
that routine.
Yeah.
So anyway, Jeffrey said, we're going to wear black suits and we're going to do this. And we practice. And in seeing the routine, you could tell we start pop, bam, pop, bam. Jeffrey was like, he was all off beat.
Yeah.
And Casper and I, if you analyze the video, I'm looking at Casper and I'm hitting and I start popping and I catch on with him.
Yeah.
And sync it. So him and I sync, Jeffrey finally synced, and then the rest is history. And my mom called me and said, boy, you better get your butt down. Here's something big going to happen. Michael Jackson's manager just called and he wants you to teach him how to dance.